This video is brought to you by Miniature Market. Thousands of board games, miniatures, and paints, discount prices at miniaturemarket.com. Hey everybody, so today we're going to finish up, yes, our friend the Screaming, whatever he is, he's he's pretty messed up. For Kingdom Death Monster, our little Screaming Antelope. We're going to highlight him and everything like that, but the most important thing is I'm going to show you how to put him together. Okay? No, it's not an illusion. I have two. Actually, I'm putting and painting one together for a patron, but that's okay. We're going to use that to take a look at how to put this together, and then I'm going to show you how to highlight this guy at the very end of this video. So why don't we get down to the table and take a look how to take it. Well, the first thing is to clip out all the pieces. There's also another human on here too, and there's some pieces for that. I believe it's as the next stage, but you're not going to use all the pieces on here. There's two ears, there's the body, there's another horn, and there is a leg right there, and that's pretty much all you're going to need to get started with. I'm going to clip these out, and then we're going to get to the table, and I'm going to show you how to put this all together. Now, of course, my glue of choice is Loctite, and this is just a super ultra gel, and it really goes together. Just a little squeeze here or there, and it dries pretty quickly. So we're just going to kind of get this in here like so, and all you do is take these two pieces, because you have the two body pieces, and you're going to want to put these guys together first, I think. So I'm just going to lock that in there and hold that together a bit. Alright, just to make sure that it goes together and it sticks. So as you can see, there's his rib cage and all that, and we're gonna do a few things on our boy here to bring him up to speed. As you can see, in the other video we kind of just did all the basic stuff, and we're just going to do a little more to bring him to life a bit, and it's just going to be a little bit more dry brushing. So without further ado, let's wait for this dry. We'll put on the next pieces. Now, one of the biggest pains in the neck of putting this bad boy together is the ears. Now, if you put the horn on first, you're going to have to struggle trying to put the ear in. So I'm going to put the ears in. There's a little notch here. I'm just going to put a little bit of glue there, just a little of that gel in there. And I just wanted to get in there, and I'm going to stick the ear in there, and I'm going to do the ear first before I do anything else, because it's such a pain in the neck going in, and I just want to make sure, and first of all you want to make sure that you get it in the right way, and just kind of ease that ear in there. Don't let the glue stick to you, and then pull the ear out after you get the ear in, and then boom, there you go, you got one ear in. Then you're going to put the other one in this notch here. So that's what I'm going to do, and I'm going to let that dry for a little bit, and then we're going to come back and I'm going to show you how to put the rest of this guy together. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to glue this leg on, and I'll again using the Ultra Control Gel, which works perfectly with very models that are just hard to put together. I really suggest this stuff. They also have some Instant Bond stuff that's really good. You really kind of want to check and make sure that this fits together perfectly, which we did, and now you're just going to hold it in there until it dries quick enough. Once that does that, we're going to come back, and I'm going to show you the last two pieces that we're going to glue on. Alright, we got that glued on, so now let's put on the tail. Now this is a little tricky. You want to make sure it's trimmed out real well, and there's a certain groove for this that it sits in, and you're going to have to hold this for a few seconds. So you're going to kind of want to get it, and like his tail, you want it to sit curved out. So you see how that is, and it's just a matter of getting it in the little notch there and holding it until it's dry and ready. And then once that's dry, we're going to come back and we're going to put the last piece on this guy. Now the final bit here is just to glue on the horn, and we're going to do that, and we're just going to pop that horn on with a little glue. It has a nice notch, it fits together very well. This is one of the easier models, believe it or not. except when the piece falls off like that. And all you gotta do is just get it in there. There you go. Hold it for a little bit and it'll all come together. And it does take a second or two for the glue to bond a little bit. So we're gonna let that dry, and then I'm gonna show you just what I did gluing them to the base, because that's a really kind of hard thing to do. So let me show you what I did. Now, as you can see, I got him on this base, but if you noticed when I was painting him, I had him on the base and then he popped off because he's really just held on to a certain way. Now you can pin this, but if you're a beginner, you're just going to want to glue it, and you're going to want to make sure that you have a good strong cement. So make sure that you use the Loctite glue. For painting, I would paint it first and then glue it on and then work the base around it. What I did is when I glued it, I just took something and anchored the guy in there like that, let the glue set, as you can see, boom, and as you can see, if you catch it right, he'll just stand right there, and then once the glue dries, then you're ready to base it and do everything else with it. But make sure that you have something. Don't stand there with the whole time and then put it there and then all of a sudden he slowly falls down. Your best option is to anchor something in there. So with that done, okay, and shown how to put them together, why don't we finish highlighting this guy? And if you want to know how to get to this point, check out our other video that we did. And I'm just going to show you how we're going to finish this guy up and give him a really nice look. So let's get painting. I'm going to start with an administrative gray. And what I want to do here, as you can see how dark he is, I kind of want to lighten him up, but I want to make sure I take a lot of paint off. As you see, his fur is kind of lightened and dark gray, but I don't want to lighten him up where it blends too much in here and we lose what we have here, the difference between the fur and the skin. All I want to do is take this gray and I really just want to tickle this nice and lightly. Look what I'm doing here, just nice and light, easy peasy, no problems, and just work over the top. And all I'm doing is just hitting the higher points, not taking that wash out. Again, I've said this 1,000 times, and I don't want the white to take that out, and all I want to do is just nice and easy work that in there. And I could bring my brush a little bit harder on these thighs, and you could see how now all of a sudden how that stands out a little bit and it's not as dark. See how he has good texture there and the same thing over here in this area here. I really want to bring those muscles out because he's very strong. The other thing I want to do is just kind of go and bring over the higher points of his face and in between his head here. And just do it nice and lightly, not taking out the red eyes. We work too hard to get those eyes. Underneath his jowl and work in there. And that's going to work out very nicely. And you can see how now all of a sudden he has a nice form. I've already done this side, by the way, folks. And you can see how he has strength in there. And it shows his strength. The thing here, though, we want to clean this up. So let's get to work on that. I'm going to go with a dry paint. And that's a changeling pink. It's almost like a... If you haven't seen the show before, it is almost pretty much like it's like silly putty, for crying out loud. And all I want to do is to get that on my brush and very lightly, and be very careful in here, and just reach in here and hit the higher points and just kind of work it in a little bit and give a little bit of that, oh my God, his guts are showing type of feel to it. You can see right there, we're just going over ever so lightly. I'm not worried about hitting the teeth here because we're going to be going over that in a moment. And then just nice and easy, nice and easy. And that's the best thing we can do right there. Alright, that looks a lot better. Alright, let's move on to our next step. For the bone area, I want to use a filleted one flesh. I'm going to dry brush this on. This is going to go for the horns and these teeth underneath because we want to bring those out a little bit. So let's get this ready and I'll show you how it's done. So I'm going to take this all off my brush again. A lot of dry brush in here. You know, after we put on all that stuff, we're going to we darken it up so we can lighten it up. And just very lightly, and it'll give you exactly what you're looking for. Okay? You want to keep that wash inside there, and you want to keep that nice, and all you want to do is just kind of go over and give another texture, another look, and it looks like bone. You know, it looks like antlers. Come through the back here and bring those out. And if you have to come back here and grab a little, that's fine. Just be careful not to get too much on your brush, or else all you're going to do is end up painting. And that's not what we're trying to do here. We're trying to dry brush this, hitting the high spots with a lighter color. And you can see what that does. See how light in that brings the light? Now, do the same thing over the bone here, or the teeth. And just don't be afraid to press down. If you have a good feel and you can tell, trust me, you're gonna know. And just coming over the top here. Outstanding. And just make sure that everything kind of fits together. There we go. Working our brush. And there you go. I think a lot better. He looks a lot stronger, a lot more menacing. We have the horns right. We have the inside of his guts correct now. And it's exactly where we want to be. We got that muscle form really standing out. The only thing left to do is do the base, but you've seen me do bases before. But I'm probably going to do a couple of these monsters and do all the bases at once. We'll do a really nice static grass type of thing. So I think you guys will really enjoy that. But that's all there is to it. Just taking your time, good formation, taking and just taking this wonderful model from an unbelievably talented group of guys that have an imagination beyond our wildest dreams, and putting this together and painting it in what you see. And that's what really counts. So here you have the Screaming Antelope. So let's head on up top and get on out of here. Well, there you have it, the finishing touches on that beastie boy. I think he came out just the way that we would hope he would come out. You know, just those little things that we did to enhance him really make a big difference. And if you notice, he's really sitting on that base really well. So when you guys put yours together, you know, make sure, you know, when you put it on that base, to make sure I have something on there. And you can see, you know, the differences of both of them, okay? It looks a lot better painted, that's for sure. So that's why it's an easy job and something that I think you'll really enjoy. So we're going to continue on with our series of Kingdom Death Monster. First, we're going to actually play the game. So I'm looking forward to playing the settlement phase and the next part and getting to the Screaming Antelope. And then we'll put together, and I'll show you how to put together, and we'll paint as we go. This is a great experience. Thank you all that contributed and made sure that we had Kingdom Death Monster. I can't thank you enough for that. That's it for this kind of put together and paint. That's the way to put it. I don't know any other way to put it. Until next time, it's your old pal Rob. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you soon.